Hello, my love, and welcome back to another episode of Aligned TV. It's your girl, Jen. I am a coach, healer, and creator of the Aligned Life, and I'm here to chat with you today about everything manifestation, self-healing, and mindset. Today, we are talking about the 3 kinds of people that are not actually your friends. Before we get into it though, I want to just clarify that this is not a call out video. This is not a video where I want you to go and tell someone that they are a bad person or that they're toxic. That is not the intent of today's video. Please do not take it that way. We are not investing in that kind of drama around here. Instead, these are some lessons that I have learned the hard way, and I would like to talk about it today because the people who you surround yourself with are actually super important. People say that you are a combination of the 5 people that you spend the most amount of time with. And I'm not sure that I completely agree with that, because sometimes you are spending time with like your kids or something, and I'm not really sure that that translates or that analogy is accurate in many ways, but there's something to this. We take on the energy of the people who are around us. Another thing that comes up when I start to talk about this stuff is that people start to view relationships and friendships as being very transactional. And I'm also not about that life. I'm not suggesting that you go out and become friends with somebody because they have the kind of job that you want or they know the kinds of people that you want to know. I'm always coming to the topic of friendship from a very genuine and real place, because personally, I do not know how to be fake and to put on that kind of performance to get something else, to manipulate somebody into giving me what I want. Basically, I feel like I'm very neurodivergent. When I read 50 Laws of Power, Robert Greene's amazing book, like it is amazing, by all these power play games, and I'm still completely turned off by that style of relationship when it comes to interpersonal friendships. For me, that book in particular is really useful when it comes to career, because somebody like me who is very literal and tries to think that everyone has my best interests at heart and their best interests at heart, I feel like that they wouldn't play those games, and that is not true. We are coming to this from a place that feels aligned for me, and I hope that it resonates with you as well. So the first kind of friend who is not actually your friend is the extremely negative person. Other people's ways of looking at the world, it's not our responsibility, right? I have been Miss Fix-It. I have been the one who is trying to help everybody, trying to cheer everybody up, trying to be the cheerleader. And guess what? That is exhausting. These days, I do not want to play that role. If I encounter somebody who is always complaining and always super negative, I leave them to it. I can see what they are doing. I can see the state that they are in, and I am not going to take responsibility for that. I realize that they are on their own journey. However, I'm going to try to not to take that negativity into my life. And this can be hard. And this is exactly why these people are not necessarily your friends. They might think that they're your friends, and they might be acting from a way that feels really aligned to them. They think they are being honest. They think they are being truthful. But in reality, if they are trying to dim your light and your energy, your sparkle, your passion, your dreams, they're not really your friend. It's not that we need everyone in our life to be 100% on board with the things that we want, but at a bare minimum, I do not want somebody who is trying to talk me out of things or who has something negative to say anytime I bring up a new topic. I recently told somebody, recently in the last year or so, I told them I was starting a new project, and they heard about my project and were immediately like, well, that's not going to work. Of course, I don't even think this person remembers that they did that, but that is definitely not the kind of energy that I want around me. I don't want to come to somebody and say, I'm starting this new thing, and have them immediately tell me why it's not going to work. While we're on this topic, other people's opinions are extremely tricky, And we really should not be taking them into account that often. Other people's opinions are based on their own experience, knowledge, and fears. And many times they are talking out of their ass. They are talking about something that they don't know that much about, they have not put that much research into, and that they might have deep-seated fears about. And if you let those little remarks into your brain, if you let that stuff come in, that is going to make you play small. That is going to let you give into your fear instead of going out there and doing what you want to do. That is ultimately going to limit your potential of who you are as a person. Again, this is not because the negative person is trying to consciously do this, at least not most of the time, perhaps sometimes they are, but that is the end result. So if you realize that you have one of these perpetually negative people around you, I really suggest that you start to limit your time, distance yourself, and be very careful about what you are sharing with them. So the example that I just gave where somebody was extremely negative about something I said, of course, I saw this and I'm like not taking into account. I did not stop working on what I was working on, but I'm also going to watch what I say to this person in the future. I am not going to tell this person when I'm starting new projects because I just do not need this in my life. And again, I'm sure this person doesn't even remember, but I have to do what's best for me. I have to protect my energy. And since I cannot control what other people do, I need to create that distance. Okay, the second kind of friend who is not actually your friend. It's a very similar situation here to what we were just talking about. This is the armchair critic. This is the person who is always criticizing what other people are doing, who is looking at the stuff people do, maybe their friends, maybe strangers, and has something negative to say about it. So this one is a little bit tricky because maybe they're not saying it directly to your face. Maybe they are talking about somebody you know in common, and maybe you think that this person really has your back. Well, I'm here to tell you that they don't. This person doesn't have anybody's back. This person is a lot more comfortable with criticizing people because they are actually afraid to do this stuff themselves. It is so much easier to sit around and do nothing, to drink too much, to whatever you're doing that's distracting you from your life. It is so much easier to sit around and criticize other people rather than actually do something in your own life. So again, this one might be a little bit trickier to notice because you might not feel that direct negativity, but I guarantee that this person is resenting you. I guarantee that this person is saying the same things about you behind your back. And I guarantee that sooner or later you are going to pick up on this jealous kind of energy. Maybe they're not fully jealous, like maybe they don't actually want what you want, but they are resenting you for trying to go big and for trying to do something new and interesting with your life. It is much easier for them to try to take the air out of everyone's tires so we all stay at the same miserable level forever. It's easier for them to do that than for them to actually do something interesting themselves. This person is fundamentally afraid and has low self-worth, but they are not stopping there. They are kind of making it everyone else's problem. And again, this is not because this is part of some nefarious plan to undermine you, but that is really what is happening. So if you are around these kinds of people who love to complain about what everyone else is doing and how the world is changing and how everything is different now, and they're not taking any action in their own life, for one thing, this pattern is not going to change. As long as they sit there and complain and criticize and don't do anything themselves, nothing is changing. But sooner or later, you better believe that negative energy is going to come back to you in one way or another. And that is exactly why this kind of person is not really your friend. The third type of friend who is not actually your friend, this one I have so much empathy for, but it really needs to be said. And this is the insecure person or the person with an anxious attachment style that has yet to do any real work on it. Again, this is not a call-out video. I'm not saying that these kind of people are evil or wrong or bad or anything like that. But sometimes the energy that they are bringing to the party of your life is not the energy that you deserve and that you need. So the insecure friend or the anxious attachment style friend, and specifically here, I'm thinking of some examples in my life of female friends, although this can definitely apply to men as well. There are men with anxious attachment style, men who are extremely insecure. The way this dynamic works is that this person is your friend, but they are a little bit needy, a little insecure, and we can handle that. Like, that's okay. Everyone has something, right? But at a certain point in time, this person is going to prioritize some random man that they just met over you. And that is where it becomes problematic. Okay, so it might not be a random man. Maybe it's a pattern over time. But if they are constantly prioritizing the people that they are dating, even though they just met them, even though they're not actually in a relationship, even though it's casual talking phase, if they are always prioritizing those people above you, then yeah, they're not really your friend, are they? And I don't mean to look at this situation and be like, every time someone else is being insecure and acting from their insecure attachment, they're being a bad friend to you. No, but sometimes they are. I have seen this comment echoed in the self-healing community. Like, it is really hard to be friends with somebody who is in this mindset when you have done some work on yourself, because you can see how their behavior is affecting you. And in their mind, it's not anything to do with you. They are so desperate for love and attention that they are running after this person that they want to date. They really don't see how they are responsible at the same time for how they are treating the people they already know. But that's not really a friendship, right? Like, if you are literally ignoring me, like canceling 5 minutes before we're supposed to meet, or like doing other kind of bad behavior things because you are putting all of your eggs in the basket of this person, especially a person that you just met, like, that is not friend behavior. That is not aligned. That is not someone that I feel I need to invest more time in. Again, I have so much empathy for the anxious attachment people. I would definitely say that I'm a recovered and still recovering anxious attachment style. If you want to learn more about how to heal your anxious attachment style, then you can come join my Healed program. I have a whole workshop all about healing attachment styles with material for you if you are anxious or avoidant or disorganized, which is both. But that's not the point. The point is, we're not calling people out and saying that because you are insecure, we cannot be friends. But if that behavior starts to come back and impact your friendship, just don't be surprised. They are not able to see what they are doing, but that also does not mean that you have to sit around and put up with it. So again, we might need space, distance, and a lot of boundaries, because I don't need this kind of energy in my life. I need people that honor and respect my time. I need people that honor and respect my friendship. And I'm sure that you agree with that. Okay, so that is it for today's video. Thank you, beautiful human, for joining me here today. I really hope that you learned something interesting. Again, I'm not trying to cause drama. I'm not asking you to call people out, but I am asking you to be a little bit more guarded with who you give your precious time and energy to. It takes a lot of work sometimes for us to feel good about ourselves, for us to feel happy, for us to feel positive about our future. And if we are letting in people who don't want us to feel that way for one reason or another, or are treating us with disrespect, we are making life more difficult for ourselves. So this video is not about calling people out. This video is about learning how to see how these patterns are negatively affecting you so that you can act with confidence and in turn use your precious time and space on relationships that actually fulfill you. If you like this video, please do me a favor, give it a like, hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you back here in next week's episode.